Matthew Brenner here from Action Karate. I am with Miss Tanya. Miss Tanya is going to actually share her story about how she first started karate training when she was a little kid, when she was 5, and how the goal setting system we use in Action Karate, she was able to use those same skills to apply it through her education, especially through goal setting in graduating to Berkeley in California. So, Ms. Tanya, I'm excited to hear from you. Thank you so much for getting on here with me today, and welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm really pumped to be talking about my story and my experience.
Cool. So, tell us a little bit more. Give us a little bit more of your background, how you first got started, and just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Pennsylvania, and when I was a kid, I saw this show where some other kid took karate classes, and I was like, oh, that looks pretty cool. So I ended up going and starting to take karate classes through Action. And when I started training, I just felt like it was a really good environment, and I had a lot of fun even as a kid. There were a lot of other cool kids around there that I ended up being friends with, and yeah, I just ended up sticking with it through high school until I moved over to California for college, and now I'm back to teach and to take more classes.
Cool. So tell us, do you know, and it's probably hard to know because you're such a young kid, but do you have an idea of why your family first decided to put you in karate?
Oh, I was so annoying. I annoyed the heck out of them. I was like, you have to put me in karate, you have to put me in karate. And they were actually really hesitant because, around that time I had started playing soccer, and I didn't want to show up to soccer classes, and I ended up getting kicked out of my soccer team. But they were like, listen, if we do karate, you have to show up. And I was really into it. And yeah, I think I'm really glad it's something that I stuck with and had a lot of grit through.
So you started karate because your parents made you do it because you're so annoying.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Annoying about wanting to do it?
Yeah, annoying about wanting to do
Okay.
it. And I think also they were like, we need to get her into something that she'll stick with, not the soccer business where it's because at that time, my time on the soccer team was going downhill, and my parents were like, I think that she needs something active and something engaging and stuff like that. And I was just so fascinated by karate. And so they were like, listen, you have to stick with it. So I did.
So why do you think soccer wasn't for you?
I don't know. I felt I don't know. I think that part of it, I think, was a social thing where maybe I just didn't click with the other kids as well as I clicked with my classmates at Action Karate. And I think that I knew that I wanted to do something where I was on a team, but I also had a lot of opportunity for individual growth. And I felt like that was something that I didn't necessarily get through soccer as much as I did through karate.
Okay, got it. So you want maybe something more individual. Obviously, soccer is more of a team sport.
Yeah, something where I could have a team feeling, but also where I have individual goals and achievements.
Okay, got it. So looking back now, I know it was a long time ago, and you did training for how many years? You started when you were 5, then until.
And then I trained till I was 17, and then I just restarted last year.
Awesome. So a really long time, right? So
Yeah.
when you look back now, and when you look back, what do you feel like has helped you the most from the program?
I would say probably the ability to set goals that are tangible and just realistic, and also to have perseverance and the grit to pursue them even when things get tough. I think that especially when I was testing for my junior black belt, that was a really big struggle for me. And I think being able to pass the test and see that my hard work can really come through and help me be successful was a really powerful lesson. And as corny as it sounds, it really did show me that I can really do whatever I set my mind to.
That's awesome. So what is it about karate exactly that you feel like helped you learn that goal setting mentality?
Well, I think that the structure of it is it lends itself to that very easily, in the sense of okay, you have belts and you need to have stripes, every few weeks or every few months. And it's kind of that idea of continuing to get better. And there's really no upper limit of okay, like now I'm here and I can stop. So I think it's kind of like this idea of just like perpetually like bettering yourself and
Mm,
having like very, I don't know, having like goals for like what's next.
okay, got it. So why do you think that was so effective in helping you?
Well, I think that in college, so I guess growing up, I really took karate for granted and like the role it played in my life because I think it's like even hard for me to imagine my childhood or like my life before I took karate. And so then when I went to college, like, and I stopped doing karate, there was like this big, I guess, like gap or like this kind of like big hole in my life. And I realized that a lot of like my discipline and goal setting came from that. And so I tried to like keep a lot of the lessons I learned. I feel like the one lesson that's like really stuck with me throughout the years is like the SMART goals. And so that's something that I really used a lot and like setting goals for like studying in college and like applying for jobs and now like applying for graduate school and stuff. So yeah, just having like incremental goals that I can like really achieve.
Okay, got it. So how do you feel like you apply those skills now in school? So you graduated Berkeley and now, or tell us what you're doing now and how you feel like those skills have translated to your day to day.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I I just got through a pretty brutal application cycle for graduate school, and I think I also like had a concussion while I was applying, which is like a little nuts. But and in hindsight, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But I think what really helped was to kind of like look at the bigger picture and say like, okay, this is what I have the capacity for, and this is what needs to get done. And instead of, I think in the beginning it was really overwhelming to think of like all of the applications I had to get through, and I think it really helped to say like, okay, I need to like have a tangible goal of getting like 5 applications done by like the next 2 weeks or like you know 3 applications done this week because I'm busy or something like that. So kind of like setting a timetable and like keeping in mind what my like roadblocks or limitations are with my concussion and also making sure that these are like tangible goals that I could work towards. And I think just having like the discipline to follow through on that structure has been something that like karate has like really instilled in me.
Really cool, really cool. So how do you think, I know this is it's kind of a funny question, but how do you think life might be different if you never did karate, right? You've never won those goal setting skills. Like, how do you think life might be different?
I feel like I just wouldn't be so, I guess I never thought of that because I've never like experienced my life without it really. But
Hmm.
I think I probably just wouldn't be so organized, to be honest. I think that I'd probably be, yeah, kind of an organizational mess.
Okay, all right, cool. So how be like stay on track and
Yeah.
organize with your schoolwork, stuff like that. Okay, cool. So what would you say to a parent who's watching this now and they have a 5-year old kid, maybe a 5-year old daughter, and maybe like team sports aren't for them, but they're on the fence about talking to us or about calling and finding out more. Like, what would you say to a family like that?
Um, I guess I'd want to know why they're on the fence, but also like we don't bite. Like I would try it out. I think I don't know, like I had a lot of fun doing it and it's like it was a great way for me to like release a lot of like my high energy and like meet some cool people and just I don't know, like have a good time. I think for me personally, I felt really good every time I got like a new belt and stuff like that. And it was a really exciting thing. And you know, my parents were always really busy with work and I felt like but they always showed up to like all of my tournaments and like being able to have them like show up to things like tournaments or like showing up for things like whenever I got my new belt, they were like really special moments, especially just because my parents were like so busy with work. So just seeing like the ability to like, I don't know, having them there was like a really big bonding moment for us. So yeah, I would do it. It's fun. It's not that high pressure.
Cool. Well, thank you so much. So anyone who's watching who doesn't know, Miss Tanya now is training with us, but also teaching with us. More importantly, even though she's on the other side of the country, she's able to train our online students and our families. So super cool for her to get back while she still applies for medical school, right?
Yeah, so right now I'm applying for joint MD PhD programs and then just like PhD programs, and I'll kind of like see what sticks and go from there.
Very cool. Well, you're a rock star. Thank you so much for being on here today. You're awesome, Miss Tanya. Thanks for sharing your story. And if you want access to the same resources, the same coaching, the same teaching that Miss Tanya got, make sure to reach out, comment below, or send me a message on Facebook. I'll be happy to help. Miss Tanya, you're awesome. High five.
Thanks. See you.
See ya.